Today, let's open up the Bible. And I don't know, I think I left off Proverbs chapter 13. Let's get to it. A wise son responds to his father's discipline, but a mocker doesn't listen to rebuke. Let's look at that, right? Read it once more. A wise son responds to his father's discipline, but a mocker does not listen to rebuke. This isn't just a worldly father. That's not what we're talking about. When you are honest in life, you're going to realize that you do have a form of a compass inside of you. Yet, do not trick yourself. Your intuition may just be shallow, lower, earthly desire. So, the duty that we have is to learn how to discern between real wisdom from the Father, true insight and revelation that is born within us, in comparison or in contrast to what may just be wants and desires that are creeping in, as the snake does, if you will, and misconstrued as signs or deeper communication. So we all have the duty to learn how to respond to the Father's discipline. First and foremost, our ears must learn to hear. We must be able to notice what is communication from Christ, from God, from the one and only. Because a lot of the times we can just, drift through life, thinking that we're living a good life, but that's a lot of the times it has a flavor of an unexamined essence. Whereas if you're drifting, if you're not questioning yourself, if you do not move with skepticism, then how could you ever learn to care? The number one duty that we really have is to observe ourselves, not to observe the neighbor or the mom or the sister and judge others. No, but remove the plank, the plank in our own eyes before talking about the speck in others. I bring that up constantly because one of the biggest fundamental traps in humanity is us putting on this lens of, yeah, I'm good and I'm healed and I have advice to give and all of that nonsense. Because those who claim to be saved will not be open to hearing. And on that exact verse, chapter 13, verse 1, a wise son responds to his father's discipline, and a mocker doesn't listen to rebuke. As long as you hold that space in your heart, that there are things to repent against, there are things that you will be rebuked by, there are things that you can do better, there is change that can be born in your heart. You see, part of life is, okay, I'm on my journey and I am working and I have done so much, and wow, I'm grateful for the change that has been born in me through him, yet all simultaneously holding the space that I don't know anything. The one thing that I know is that I don't know. And the one thing that I know is that he knows. And the one thing that I know is that without him, I'm nothing. So let's put that as the foundation, the cornerstone. That doesn't mean you need to carry this mentality of, oh, I'm a sinner and I'm bad. Yeah, like it's important to have humility. That means recognizing where you aren't right, but all simultaneously hold the space of, yeah, I am powerful. I can do anything through him who strengthens me. So there needs to be that space of, yeah, I'm nothing, to be quite frank. Yet, I have a meaning for being here. I have something to share with this world. There is purpose behind all the tribulations I have gone through and experienced. And when I say I'm not speaking of me, but you. And also, I am speaking of me. But this isn't just me, Justin, personal, telling you. No, it's the fact is we are all one. Yet there's night and day. There's heat and cold. There is spring in summer, and there is fall in winter. Okay? There is a snake that is growing, and then there is a snake that has shed its skin. And then there is the regrowing of the skin, so on and so forth. If you have ears, then let you hear. Now, verse 2. From the fruit of his mouth, a person will enjoy good things, but treacherous people have an appetite for violence. Treacherous people have an appetite for violence. So, the question really is, building from the first verse, is, are you honest? And do you recognize the violence in your heart in daily living, moving? Meaning, not, oh, you want to violently, physically attack someone, and if you don't have those thoughts, you're not violent. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying moments of psychological friction and resistance, meaning the judgment of another, the comparison of you versus another, the petty, passive, aggressive nudges that immature egos invite others to play, the lies that you say one thing, but in your heart you feel something different, so on and so forth. All of that which I've just listed is violence. And the fact is, what I've just listed is simply the top of the iceberg of violence. Violence goes so much deeper than the physical essence of anger or rage. Violence is something that we need to observe and pray gets repented from or gets purified from our hearts. The only way you ever change violence internally is to bring light upon it, meaning that you recognize it, that you notice it the moment it arises, that you reverse engineer or notice and understand the pattern and the stimulus and the spiral of thought that turns violence and lets those cogs begin to work and compound. See, if you can understand evil in its roots, then you can also change your ways, all right? As above, as below. If you bring light to what's below, then it's only natural that the deeper crevices, the darkness, the demons get expelled, and therefore the space that the darkness used to hold in your spirit is now changed. There's something new being born, hence being reborn. So, verse 3. The one who guards his mouth protects his life. The one who opens his lips invites his own ruin. Now, contradictory, I'm opening my lips here. But when you speak with intention, when you know how to bite your tongue, when you know, if you can feel that you don't have anything nice or true to say, and you choose to sit in the silence and process that and wait and feel it and understand the energy so that when you do speak, you speak clearly, that is a power. That is special. That is something which will save you so much time and energy in life. Because what happens, a lot of people, this is what happens to them. They create wildfires in their lives and they spend all this time and energy putting out wildfires. But the mere fact is that they could have prevented the creation of the wildfire.